Eric Dickerson's here. Good to see you, man.
Good seeing you, Rich.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
You are good?
I'm good. It's got a little cold, but
you are?
Yeah.
You're a little under the weather?
A little bit under the weather. I just want to shake anyone's hands.
Well, you got this very Dennis Haysbert voice thing going on right now. You sound like you got.
This is my sexy voice. my Barry White voice, like, hey, baby, hey, baby.
Yeah. Do you got that music right now? Del Tufo? Come on, man. Come on. Yes.
There it is.
This is Barry White. Very good.
Yeah, baby.
Fantastic. Eric Dickerson here in studio. When the radio audience comes back, there's so much to talk to you about.
Okay.
Super Bowl. Were you there? Did you go to the Super Bowl?
I wasn't. I was there the week of, but I left on Sunday morning.
Because you're a smart man.
Yeah, you know how it is. But I saw the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were up on your speed on that.
I saw what happened.
And I cannot wait to ask you about, the first quarter of that game.
Okay.
Wait a minute. No, wait a minute. No, there was something that happened in the fourth quarter. I have my notes here. Hold on a minute.
That everyone is still talking about.
I'm telling you.
They
right?
They won't let it go. Like it's going to be a replay.
They won't let it go. Don't worry. I won't sing Frozen, guys. If he says let it go,
Please.
that's the first thing I think of.
God.
We left that in 2014.
No, we didn't.
No,
we didn't. We're back with Eric Dickerson in a moment. Oh, yes. The first, my last, my everything. I'm not playing that for you, Eric Dickerson, because I mean that, but it's because you have a cold here in studio, and you've got that Barry White thing.
I got the Barry White voice. Hey, baby.
You do. I've got Eric Dickerson, the pride of Sealy, Texas, right here on the Rich Eisen Show, first ballot Hall of Famer. Good to see you, sir.
Good seeing you, Rich.
So let's get right into it. The fourth quarter, 1 yard line. Super Bowl is on the line. And the Seahawks throw it. Is this perfect 20/20 hindsight, or you think it's the worst call that could be conjured up?
I thought it was a bad call. I mean, I really did, and I think a lot of people did. But, when you're in that situation, if the pass would have been completed, it would have been the greatest call ever.
Right.
But, I just think that you get up and you run the football. You run a bootleg. You don't put it in the middle of the field throwing. I just don't believe that. It happened to me. The same thing, kind of the same
What do you mean
situation.
it happened to you?
And we played the Giants in 1984 in the playoff game, and we lost 16-13. We got down. I ran the ball all the way down to like the 3 yard line. And instead of, and I'm not saying it was the wrong call, it was just the call. John Robinson gave it to the fullback twice up the middle, then we threw it, and we threw a pass and we didn't complete the pass. We lost 16-13. I think it was 3 minutes left in the game, we didn't get the ball back. And everybody asked me, why didn't you run the ball? Like, that was the call.
So you didn't get a touch?
I didn't touch it. I didn't touch it.
So why didn't you get a touch?
He said, now this is what John said, and I love John, and I still, whatever he think is best. He said he was trying to fool him.
See, now that's the whole point of this play call that so many people, again, 8 days removed, are still parsing. We're still massaging it. We're still running through it. Is that Darrell Bevell and Pete Carroll overthought it? That it was just an overthinking, that sure you only had 2 timeouts left, you had one timeout left, right? And that, you knew that if you ran it here, you had to use your timeout, et cetera, as opposed to just beast mode, just do it.
I would just get up and just hand it to him. I mean, I think that would have been the smartest play to do. And if he didn't, you know what, even if he fumbled it, you're like, okay, it's a fumble, it's not in the air. I don't think he would fumble the ball, but 1 yard, what better guy to have in the backfield? Him or Earl Campbell? Those two are the best. Marcus Allen go over the top.
You would put beast mode in that category? You'd put Marshawn, I mean, you just named some serious people.
The whole week they were talking about him, and I said he reminds me of an Earl Campbell, Walter Payton type. Not quite as physical as Earl, but that kind of guy, a guy that you can't bring down. One guy's not going to bring him down one-on-one. If you watch Walter, it's a guy that always pulling his legs and, slapping you out the way. That's how he runs the football.
So when it's all said and done, I mean, Shane Vereen said on NFL AM today that if they ran it, it probably would have been a totally different result in the Super Bowl.
I think it would have been I think we've been talking totally different right now.
And so we'd be talking about why wasn't Belichick using his timeouts?
Timeout, right, exactly. But, it's football. It's a call, and you live with it and you die with it. I'll say it again. If he threw the ball, he threw the ball. If he'd have caught it, the receiver would have caught it, it'd have been, that was a great call. They caught him off guard. They thought they were going to run the football, they threw it. But, it didn't happen like that.
I have a Hall of Famer and single-season NFL all-time rushing record recorder Eric Dickerson right here in studio. Jerry Rice is talking about Stickum on his gloves. You hear about this?
No, I didn't hear about
He
that.
said that he put some stickum type device on his gloves back in the day.
Like Lester Hayes?
Well, I don't know if it's like, Lester Hayes looked like, Nightmare on Elm Street, like Freddy Krueger. His hand was like Freddy Krueger with that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I think you just said that you just put a little bit on, but everybody did it.
They did spray. They sprayed it on their gloves, their hands, and everything.
Did you ever do something like that?
No, I should have sometimes for sure, because sometimes I couldn't hold the ball, and I didn't wear gloves. But a lot of guys do not play with on the Rams and the Colts. They did the same thing.
So, because that's what he says, that everybody was doing it back
Look,
then.
when you look at have you tried on those gloves they wear now? I mean,
yes.
No one should drop a pass.
Ever.
I mean, those gloves are so sticky. It's almost like cheating. I wish I did have those gloves when I played.
Well, that was the whole conversation about Beckham's three-fingered grab. That because you know how things work, and you're on Twitter too, at Eric Dickerson.
Yes.
You see how things, there's an instant reaction, and then there's the reaction, and then there's the rehashing. So the instant reaction was, that's the greatest thing I've ever seen. And then the rehashing was, man, that was incredible.
That was incredible.
And then right after that was essentially, right, that he cheated.
He cheated.
Because these gloves are essentially akin to cheating.
But it's not cheating because, everybody wears them. It's part of the NFL. I mean, the thing is, I think those great catches, you want to see those great catches. I mean, I think he might have caught the ball without the gloves. I mean, he's a great receiver, but, who knows? It makes it that much easier with the gloves on.
Right. Eric Dickerson is here in studio. When I'm going to take some phone calls with you here, if you don't mind.
Okay, I don't mind.
And we're going to take a break. We come back. There's some news in regards to a fellow Hall of Famer, Tony Dorsett. I want to hit you up on. Apparently, he has CTE, and he's talking about it. And I want to hit you up on that, as well as other topics and what's going on. And I want to talk about Marshall Faulk's golf game, because he does not talk about it. It's like Fight Club with him.
He's got a good golf game.
No, I know he does.
A real good golf.
Now, you play with him, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I got him in the golf.
Did you really?
Yes, I got him in the golf.
Okay, we're going to have to talk about all of this stuff here. Eric Dickerson is in studio. I have phone lines open for anyone who wants to talk to this Hall of Famer, 844-204-RICH. Eric Dickerson and you, when we come back in just 1 minute's time on The Rich Eisen Show. Hey, everybody, I'm pleased to say there's an all-new RichEisenShow.com. I want to call everybody's attention to our revamped, all-new website. A ton of totally searchable video from the show. Great shots from our amazing Super Bowl week in Phoenix. Check out the Twitter feed. You can stream the show live, access the Rich Eisen Show podcasts, and more exclusively at RichEisenShow.com. I have Eric Dickerson, Hall of Famer, in studio. 844-204-RICH is the phone number to talk to Eric, and we'll take some phone calls in a moment. The news in regards to fellow Hall of Famer Tony Dorsett with CTE. Do you speak to Tony?
I haven't talked to Tony in about a year.
Okay. Because he said that he's in the fight, is what he said. He's deep in the fight, that he has some good days, he has some bad days, and that the issue hit him like a ton of bricks. What are your thoughts when you hear that he's been diagnosed with CTE, Eric Dickerson?
It's real. A lot of people make these comments that the players, it's not real, they're faking it, they're trying to get money, and it's not true. I mean, a lot of us guys, we fight it. I mean, it comes with the outbursts, the frustration, the depression. I talked to another buddy of mine a couple of days ago. I won't say his name. And I asked him I just called him to see how he's doing. Because one day I called him and he was actually sitting in his car. He said, I'm just sitting in my car in the dark because, I just need to sit here for a while. I said, the light is bothering me. I'm frustrated. My family's in the house and I just can't take the kids right now. And it's a real struggle for guys. I mean, it really is. And I think the NFL is trying to do a little bit about it, trying to help out. But, and I always say this, and I'm just honest about it, I say they do it because they got caught with their pants down. That's why they do it now. Not because they want to, because they got caught not helping guys, and the stories start getting out. And I feel bad for a lot of guys that really they have a constant struggle.
Do you struggle at all?
Somewhat, not as bad as Tony and my friend does, but I have some memory things. I mean, I think like a lot of you'll say it's old age, but a lot of times, sometimes it's not. You forget where things are. You forget what you want to say. One day I was looking for my glasses everywhere, over the whole house. I'm looking for these glasses. Where's my glasses at? And I'm standing in front of the mirror. Where's my glasses at? They're on my face. I'm wearing them. I'm like, okay, it's funny, but it's not funny. And I always think, what will it be like 10 years from now, or 5 years from now?
How old are you right now?
I'm 54.
So do you wake up sometimes and think this is happening, or you don't think about it? You just go about your life?
You know, you try to do things to try to exercise your mind as much as possible. You know, read and just kind of, you know, one of my things is names. You know, trying to remember names, people's names. I mean, everybody has a thing they struggle with, and I've always been like that. I mean, I can't remember anybody's name. I have to meet you a couple of times,
right,
and I have to say the name to kind of place you with someone that I know, and I can remember a name. And it's a struggle. I mean, it really is. And like I say, some guys are worse than other guys, and you know, it's just a path that you know, all of us, I think, will eventually go down. Maybe not every player, but I think the majority of the players will. And the thing is, I give players some credit, is that they're talking about it now, where before, as a player, you wanted to keep everything close to the vest. You know, you wouldn't say it because you're an athlete, you know, you're tough. And a good buddy of mine, and I'll say his name, Harvey Armstrong, we were talking one day, and he said, man, do you ever have any depression problems? He said, I just want to ask you the question. I said, yeah, I've had some. He said, man, Eric, I just want to talk to somebody because, you know, we don't talk about it. You know, no one talks about it. You know, we're athletes. We're not supposed to say these kind of things. But he says, I've just been struggling some. You know, but I'm doing better now, but I just want to talk to another athlete, see, have you ever had them? I said, of course I have.
How much has what happened with Junior Seau gotten a bunch of veterans, Hall of Famers, non-Hall of Famers talking about this thing? A
lot, a lot. And not just Junior. I mean, any guy that takes his life, you know, any player that takes his life, you know, because we're all that bond, you know, we're one.
Right.
And when Junior did it, because he was such a well-liked guy, you know, and you couldn't see Junior do it. Junior was always, hey, buddy, hey, you know, the life of the party. But doing that, you're hiding something, and that Junior was really hiding something, and it was sad to hear that about Junior, and I think that even made it more to the forefront when Junior did it, because he was such a well-known and well-liked guy.
I'm here with Eric Dickerson on the Rich Eisen Show, 844-204-RICH. I'm going to go to Michael in Billings, Montana. Michael in Billings, Montana, you're on with Eric Dickerson.
Montana.
Hey, Rich. Thanks for taking my call. Fan of the show.
Thanks.
I have a question for Eric. If he was making decisions for the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones per se, would he re-sign DeMarco Murray or make a pursuit of Adrian Peterson in the case that he was reinstated?
Michael and Montana with that thought.
Well, first of all, how's the weather in Montana? I like Montana. I've been to Montana a couple times. I'm a Montana guy in the summertime, only in the summertime. I would try to keep DeMarco Murray if I could. I mean, I think that's the way to go. He's there. He knows that offense. They know him. It's always better if you can to stay on your team. I mean, I wish I'd have had the opportunity to stay with the Rams my whole career, but you know I didn't. It's a different league back then. But if they could sign him, I mean, he's in Dallas. I mean, no better fit for him. I mean, it really is. He's got a big offensive line. He's got a quarterback. To me, he played the best he played since he's been in the league last year, and I just think he should stay in Dallas. But that's just my opinion.
During Murray's season, did you think your single-season record was in jeopardy at any point?
Nope.
Why not?
I just
I love it. Like, nope.
I just didn't.
I'll tell you what, though. I mean, halfway through, I thought you might have a run for your money there.
Let me tell you why. Because you know, when I set that record, my rookie year I was ahead of the pace.
Yeah.
I think my fourth year I was ahead of the pace. I went to Indianapolis. I was ahead of the pace. You get on these hot streaks, real hot streaks, and all of a sudden these defenses are like, oh no, dog, you ain't finna be setting no record on us. That's what they say. You ain't setting no record on us. And so they play 8-man in the box, 9-man in the box, and you know everything has to go perfect. You can't get hurt. You can't fall behind. You know, and you have to have if you have an off week, you have to follow up with another big game. And I just didn't think that he would break that record.
Eric Dickerson here on the Rich Eisen Show. Let's go to Belleville, Texas. Is this? Gotta go there.
That's close to my hometown of Sealy, Texas.
Okay, Bragg, you're on the Rich Eisen Show with Eric Dickerson.
Hey guys, I appreciate you taking my call. A quick question for you, Eric. Got to talk to you a little bit about the rivalry. You know, it's I think Belleville's holding on to it right now.
Yeah, they are. That's our rival town. Yes.
I had to do that, but hey, I got a question for you. As far as the future of the running back position in the NFL, do you ever see it coming back to being a prominent position like it used to be? And what do we have to do to get to that?
There you go.
I don't know if it'll ever be like it was when in our era and before, but the running back position is a very important position. It really is. It'll never go away. They can try to push it out, but you have to have a guy that can run the football. In the Super Bowl, Marshawn Lynch was a big part of that, you know, in the game in the Super Bowl, getting to the playoffs. DeMarco Murray this year, is a big part of the Dallas Cowboys' success. You'll always have to have a running game. I know the NFL wants to see the ball thrown more, but the running back, well, you can never push him out.
Who's the best running back in the NFL right now, Eric Dickerson?
Adrian Peterson still.
You did not stutter. You just said it and you didn't stutter. Why do you say that?
Because the things he can do. I mean, he can hurt you inside, outside. He can run the ball. He can take it all the way to the house, and that's what you want. You want a guy, if he's on his 20, he can take it all the way, you know, and not look over his shoulder worrying about getting caught.
Why did you run so upright? Where did that come from, Eric?
It was just my style. I ran track, and, you know, people tried to get me out of that, you know, don't.
They did?
Oh, my God, yeah. Tom Landry said he wouldn't draft me.
Say that again.
Yeah, Tom Landry said he would not draft me.
He told that to you?
He told John Robinson that, and John, they had a little conversation. He said he didn't think that I was going to be the guy, and then we scrimmaged him, and I was very nervous in this game. I mean, I couldn't even remember the plays. They had to pull me off the field to kind of calm me down. And then I got back on, and I started sticking it to him, and then I won't forget John said, I think he's going to be all right.
So Landry didn't like your style because you thought you'd be hit?
I couldn't, he said I couldn't run inside. And the funny thing was, I didn't look that fast. I mean, that has been a albatross around my neck because I make it look too easy. I heard that so much. Are you trying? Are you trying out there? Even my coach, John Robinson, said to me, I ran a play in practice, and he said, Eric, you got to run faster than that. I said, Coach, I'm running. He said, let's run it again. Ran again. He said, son, you got to run full speed. I said, Coach, I'm running full speed. I said, I tell you what, get out here and try to catch me. So I think it was the third football game. We played the Jets in Shea, and I had an 85-yard touchdown run. And he came over, he said, well, I guess you were running in practice that day. So.
I'm here with Eric Dickerson here on the Rich Eisen Show. Let's take another call here. Let's go to Jim in Washington. You're on the Rich Eisen Show.
Hello, Eric. How are you?
Hey, Jim. How you doing?
I want to ask about the SMU. They're back at it. What are you doing to help build the program up, or do they let you back in since they all blamed it on you? I got a hard way to put it, but they threw it on your shoulders.
Oh, my God. You know, that's a good question, Jim. I'm glad he said that. They blame it on me. They blame it on me and Craig James.
Yeah.
Now, we were gone. We had left I was in the pros 5 years and they got the death penalty, but I always get the blame for it, myself and Craig James. You know, the football program is doing a little bit better. You know, I hate to see my coach, June Jones, leave, but they hired a new coach. And I think they're going in the right direction. But really, the administration does not help that program like they did when we were there. I mean, they fight. You fight it tooth and nail. I asked someone this the other day. I said, at Alabama, I said, who's the head coach at Alabama? They said, okay, name the head coach. I said, who's the president? I don't know who the president. I said, right. I said, who's the head coach at Ohio State? They named the head coach. I said, who's the president? I don't know. I said, exactly. The head coach in these football programs, they're the figurehead. And that's, I think, the problem at our school at SMU is that the president has more power than the head coach.
Eric Dickerson here in studio. All right, so you got Marshall Faulk into golf.
Yes.
That's a true story?
That's a true story.
When did this happen? Marshall was playing?
It was Marshall's rookie year. I had a golf tournament in Dallas, Texas.
Yes.
And I got him to come down. He said, Eric, I don't play golf. I said, I know you don't play. I said, but just come out. He said, Eric, I said, just come out, Marshall. He said, okay. So he came out. It was mostly all running backs. And so I said, do you want to go on the course? He said, well, I don't play. I said, just ride on the course. We'll get you some rental clubs and go out on the course. So I saw him at the turn at 9. He said, man, I like this game. He said, I like this. I got to get better at this.
I cannot imagine a time. You guys know Marshall, Chris.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and we're watching him for the radio audience hit a 9-iron in Jacksonville with a crowd all around him, by the way, at the 50-yard line, the halftime of the Thursday night finale this year. I can't even think of Marshall Faulk not
playing golf?
No.
Oh, he's got a great swing, like a pro swing. I mean, he really does. He took it serious. I mean, for years, he would travel with a coach. I'm like, who's the guy? Oh, that's my coach. I'm like, what coach? My golf coach. I'm like, okay, big time.
So is he better than you now?
Oh yeah, he's better than me. I can't even fake it. Yeah, he's better than me.
Because he won't tell me.
He won't tell you what his handicap is.
No, he was not.
No, he'll just say, I'm playing good, or I'm playing bad. And he'll go out and shoot a 68. I thought you were playing bad.
Yeah.
That happens.
That was lucky.
Now, the reason why, let's just put all the cards on the table, because you've been very honest this entire conversation. He just wants to not let everybody know how much candy he'll give you when he's playing you, correct? Just in case he does take on somebody who's a little better than him.
But it's hard to beat him. I mean, it really is. It's hard to beat Falk. I mean, you can go out there and bet him if you want to. You better bet small. I'll put it like that. Don't be no fool now.
Eric, thanks for coming in. I'd love to have you back on anytime.
Rich, thank you very much for having me.
Of course, at Eric Dickerson on Twitter, one of the all-time greats. Eric Dickerson here on The Rich Eisen Show.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.